Welcome back to Botanidex School Week 9. Today we are learning about change and composition. Let's get started. Let's review our homework first. So last time our homework was to write one object each for fabric, metal, and wood. So let's pick a couple easy answers. You didn't have to pick easy ones, but you can. So I'll pick some easy ones. Shirt for fabric. I pick, how about a pan that we cook with for metal, a metal pan. And for wood, how about a table? Because we make wooden tables, like your desk. Okay. That's interesting. All right, so for the next part, we are going to write hot or cool for each one. Ice needs what? Cool, right? And what about bread? If you want to cook bread, you need heat. Okay, so let's change the color of this to red and heat. And gelatin needs cool. All right, that was your homework. I thought it was pretty easy. You just have to write 6 words. And we are going to review again composition. This time we have a little quiz, and I'm going to have you pause and answer the questions. But it's not graded. It's just classwork. Okay? So let's get started by reading this one more time so we don't forget. Making objects from their materials. There are many different objects around us. Some objects are made from one material: boxes, paper, glasses, erasers. Other objects are made from more than one material. Put together, like shirts, are made from cloth, buttons, and threads. So, looking at this jacket, you can see fabric and buttons. All right, so let's practice looking at the composition or components of different objects. And we'll practice that right here. Okay, so before you start, pause the video now and try to answer these in your blue book. Okay, so everyone take out your blue book and try to fill out all of the composition here. What is the jacket made of? What is the fence made of? What is the water bottle made of? And what is this cake made of? The cake one is easy because it's all labeled. Okay? Okay, I hope you finished writing down all of the components. Let's start with our jacket. Let's see, what do we have? We just went over it. We have fabric and buttons. So let's write that down. Fabric and buttons. Oops. Perfect. Next we have a fence. What do we have on the fence? We have wood and nails. We have wood and nails. So those metal things are called nails. Let's type that up. Wood and nails. If you want to be specific, you can write metal nails because it's made out of metal. Okay. Next, we have a water bottle. What is a water bottle made of? The composition is plastic, and inside there's water. Okay. So we have plastic and water. All right, and last one. How do we make this nice cake? Well, we need oil, white sugar, brown sugar. So if you want to learn a little bit about sugar, white sugar makes cakes and cookies chewy, and brown sugar makes them, it makes the color darker, and it makes it softer. Yeah. Maybe I got that wrong. White sugar will make it crispier, and brown sugar will make it chewy. There we go. All right, next is cake flour. Cake flour makes cakes light and fluffy. And regular flour, plain flour, okay? Plain flour is heavier, and we use some of this so the cake doesn't fall apart. Next, we have milk to make it rich and creamy, butter to give it some rich flavor, and finally we have cream to decorate the cake. The cream goes right on top. And if you want to add the 9th composition, we have candles. So let's write some candles here. So those are the components of the cake, or the composition of our materials. That's the composition of a jacket, composition of a fence, the composition of a water bottle, and the composition of a cake. And these are the components. The jacket has 2 components. The fence has 2 components. The water bottle has 2 components. And the cake has 9 components. All right, let's get back to work. We're going to review our change. So if you can find the word changes here, take out your book, pause the video now, and do page 66 by yourself. And now we are going to review. So we are making a check in the box that answers the question. The process is heating or cooling. So for the candle, we need heating. For the egg to cook, we need heating. For water to boil, heating. For ice to freeze, cooling. For juice to freeze, cooling. And to cook chicken, we need heating. Okay, super easy. Now let's take a look at this next assignment. What happens when all of these are placed in the sun? If it's placed in the sun is hot, So this is like heating. Okay. And what happens when these are placed in the freezer? If something is placed in the freezer, it's cooling. But I have a question. If you have something in the sun, is it a big heat or a very hot heat or a small heat? The sun isn't so hot like an oven. You can't cook in the sun normally. But what will happen if these objects are in the sun? What do you think about butter? Do you think it will stay the same? It will be hard or soft or melt? What about the bag? Do you think the bag will catch on fire? Or maybe the sun will do nothing to the bag? No change. What about the ice cream? Will the ice cream melt? Or will the ice cream stay the same? Will the soccer ball change? Will it get bigger or smaller? Or no change at all? What about the books? Are the books going to change in the sun? Or the shoes? And what about in the freezer? We have colored pencils. Are colored pencils going to freeze if they are in a freezer? Will they change? What about milk? Is milk going to change? Maybe. Will it freeze? Or will it get soft? How about juice? Will the juice get hard or soft in the freezer? Well, a freezer is very cold. A freezer is below 0 degrees. Its name is freezer. Everything inside will freeze. So what about the metal spoons? Will those change? Will they become soft or hard? Will they be different after? What about this cutting board? It's made out of wood. Is wood going to change in the freezer? Or this glass of water? Let's check our answers. But first, pause and answer the questions now. All right. These are the answers to the questions. The butter will melt into a liquid. No changes happen to the bag in the sun. The ice cream will melt into a liquid. No changes happen to the football. No changes happen to the books. No changes happen to the shoes. How about the colored pencils? If we put them in the freezer, no changes happen to the colored pencils. Colored pencils. ED. Milk freezes. Good. So milk will become iced milk. And orange juice will freeze from a liquid to solid too. It will become an ice orange. How about spoons? Maybe the spoons will be cold, but are they going to change? No. There is no change to the cutlery set. Is there any change to the cutting board? There are no changes to the cutting board. And what about the water? Yes, the water will freeze into ice cubes or into ice. So this ice will freeze. And a fun fact, when water turns into ice, it gets bigger. So if it was this big before, now the ice will get bigger. And what happens to glass? That's right, if you put water in glass in the freezer, the ice will get bigger and break the glass because the glass doesn't change size. Okay. Now for homework, we are going to have a quizzes about composition and change. So make sure to do your homework. All right, bye guys.